All right, I am recording when I don't feel like working, and this time I'm doing math to prep for some interviews. As you can see, I've pulled up a problem that I'm like been spending some time on, and then I just took a break. This is the whiteboard I was working on, bunch of stuff, but like I'm gonna start afresh. So here's the problem. I already know it because I spent 23 minutes on it, or 24. Um, Not on this one exactly, but like other variants and stuff. Um, but yeah, so yeah, it's essentially just finding the probability that certain points lie on within the same. Is it gonna? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I was trying to do like the probability that like first of all, probability that 3 points lie in the same semicircle, and I did get 3/4, and that was pretty simple to do because I could manually do it. So it's like I like whatever my first. So I did it off like the first 2 points. So given the first point, the second point going from like 0 degrees from the first point all the way to pi over 2, and it's uniformly distributed, goes from like say it goes from like, so let's say they're like really close to each other, the probability that the third point is going to be on a semicircle is like 1, because if they're essentially the same point you can make a semicircle. So it goes from 1 all the way to 1/2 uniformly distributed, so like it's going to be the middle, so it's just 3/4. I know I like speedrun that, but like I don't know, I spent too much time on it. But like let's say it gets to 4. Let's say it gets to 4, like 4 points on the semicircle. Then I would have to like first pick, like, yeah, I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out now. Like probability that 4 points lie on the same semicircle. So now like okay, so here's what I'm thinking. So since they're symmetrical, okay, so first we got to figure out like the direction um, that these points are. So let's say now that I have formed my semicircle, what is the probability that the fourth one is also going to stay on it? Now it is like, okay, so essentially I think I have to look at the middle case, right, and then build off from there. So the middle case is that like either my second point, so let me just get rid of these like extra points. I don't want to erase this whole. Okay. Okay. Nice. Um, so my thing is that like the second point is like exactly 1/2 of the. That's interesting to note. Like, if the semicircle is pi radians, my second point is like on average going to be pi over 2 radians. I wonder if the next one has to be like within pi over 4 radians, but we'll see. Now, let's just take so like, yeah. So the thing is the third point can be anywhere within this like 3/4 region, and the middle point actually is right there. And once it is there, like my fourth point, so that is the average case where like my point is either there, or like if it's flipped, it's gonna be over here, right? Like either, right? Actually, wait, hold up. Oh, sorry. It's either there or it's either there, right? Like two of the either of those cases. Um, so the probability that when it is here and like so let's say it is there, right? The semicircle can be like all the way from here starting to, so again, the semicircle is this. right? Like in, so the fourth point should be like, cannot be over here. You know what I mean? So the fourth point, is it, okay, how's that gonna be 3/4 again? That cannot make sense. Hold up. Okay, so like 3/4, 3/4. Okay, interesting. Hold up. So in the previous case, I fixed one and then I looked at how the second might range and then just said, hey, that's like average. Oh wait, I think I need to do like probability wise stuff. So like what does it range from? So let's say the third point is over here. The probability again ranges from 1/2 all the way to, so it ranges from 1/2 all the way to so like what's the best case scenario? That's also 1/2. Um, let's say it's like let's say it's near one of these points, right? Then that just becomes 3/4 probability. Um, but like if it's like here, the probability just becomes like 3/4 again. If it's here, it's 1/2. Oh no, hold up. When is it ever gonna be? Okay, so it's gonna be like, if it's like here, like let's say it's like exactly over here. Like the third point, so it would be like this. Then the fourth point would just have to be like 1/2 probability. If it's here though, my range goes now from like here to here, right? Here to here, bang, bang, leaving, okay. So, okay, so like a point being here is 1/2. A point being here is like, if like the third point is on the second point here, that's 3/4. If it's over here, again 3/4, 1/2. So 1/2, 3/4, 1/2, 3/4. Okay. I don't know how to. Yeah, I am probably thinking about this wrong. Interesting. Okay. Let me get rid of all these like squiggly things. Okay. All right. Now this is the average setting here. Given this average setting, my, okay, I'm just gonna label this like as X over here and X over here. So like anything over, hold up, let me just do it this way. Like this is not allowed. This area is just not allowed at all. For the third point, and that's why I said that 3/4 probability. Now, what is the distribution of the third point? Or like it's uniformly, like it can be uniformly distributed amongst this, but like what is the probability distribution? So if the third point is at these edges, so at here, I'm just gonna write the probability here. So if the third point is here, the semicircle has to be here, and then the probability that the fourth point is in is 1/2, right? And if the third point is here, like it's just 3/4. right? Because like again, it's just the same scenario, but again, so 3/4. I think anything here is 3/4, and then anything within here is like 3/8, or like, you know, halfway between this, or not 3/8. Is it 3/8? No, 5/8, I think. Hold up, yeah, 5/8 plus 3/4. Yeah, maybe that might be it actually. So like between here and here, it's 3/4, right? So like, let me just verify, because if it's here, can I have a point over here? Yeah, that works. Yeah, it's the same thing. Okay, so it's 3/4 uniformly within this region, and then 1/2 again when it's here. So the average is like 2/3 of 5/8, if that makes sense. 2/3 of 5/8 plus 1/3 of 3/4, so plus 1/4. So 10/24 plus, so that's 16/24. Oh, okay, wait, okay, so that's 2/3. Okay, that makes, so it's 3/4 times 2/3, which is 1/2. Okay, but that's like, it only works for 4 points, right? Let me try and now do this for the actual problem that asks if, like for pi over 2. Now, okay, so let's do this, right? Circle. Okay. Now, last time we did probability that they lie in the same semicircle, but this time let's first do probability that first 3 points lie on the same like quarter. So again, first point can be whatever. Second point, last time was just like, it can be whatever, but this time it has to be within like, um, so yeah, it can only be within this half. Like anything over here is just not possible. So probability that 1 point is already, like 2 points are within the same like semi or like quarter is already 1/2. So now the second point, like let's see how it affects the third point's probability, right? So 2 points is this. Now for the third one, we have to look at the seconds distribution. So that one lies from a range of, so the third one, so okay, so let's look at the second point. So when it's here, the third one again has probability 1/2. So it ranges from 1/2 to, ranges from 1/2 to, when it's here, it is 1/4, right? So that means this has to be like, it's 3/4, right? 3/4, yeah. So that means 3/8 because you have to multiply by that 1/2 up there. So let's say 4 points, right? And then let's look at the average case of the 2 point, right? Given that it's like this 3/8 case is here, so this has to be over here. And then the 3 points is when, like last time we looked at each critical point and saw like what the probability is. So if this is over here, if the third point is situated over here, the probability that like the fourth one would also be like within this semicircle is like 1/4, right? And even, okay, so over here, okay, so it keeps changing. So let's say the thing is over here, I can go from here all the way to like here. So that is like 3/4, right, of the whole thing. So this, if it's this, it's 3/4 of the whole thing, but it's 3/8, if that makes sense. So 3/8, and I'm assuming it's the same thing over here, like within, right? Like this works, that also works. Yeah. So this is 3/8 uniformly. And then, hold up, let me just get rid of that. Okay. And then anything outside, so from 3/8 to hold on. So last time it was like an even, like a very calm even split. Maybe it's not gonna look as even because this is not like, okay. So from here, okay, so let's say the third point is situated over here. Oh wait, no. I have to look at like from here all the way up to here. Right. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. Okay, and then from here to here, it's again like 1/4 over here, right? Like if this point, if the third point is selected over here, then it's just like 1/4. Okay, that makes sense. So like, um, so 1/4, 3/4. Okay, so let's see here what I did. So like, so okay, yeah, I already guaranteed that like the 3 points were on the same semicircle. Or sorry, I guaranteed that the fourth point. Oh wait, no. These probabilities account for the fourth point already. So I have to look at like the distribution. Okay, so 2/3 of the time it is like gonna be like the average over here, which is 5/8 again. So 2/3 of the time it is 5/8. So 10/24, and then 1/3 of the time it's 3/8. So um, right, like 1/3 of the time it's gonna be. Two-thirds times the previous one. No, hold up. So okay, hold on. Let me. So okay, 1/4. Wait, what? One. How is this 3/4? So 2. Yeah, that makes sense. That's 5/8. How's that? Wait, what? Oh no, I need to divide it by 2. Oh, right. Okay. So it's 5/16, sorry. So 2/3 of the time it's. So yeah, 2/3 of the time it's 5/16. So so yeah, so it would be 5/24 plus 1/. So 1/3 of the time it's gonna be 3/8, so that's just 1/8. So that's 1/3. But I gotta multiply that with 3/8, but that gets me 1/8, and I'm pretty sure the answer is 1/16. Okay, hold on. I know I'm spending a lot of time on this problem, but I don't know how long, but like I know I'm spending a lot. But I do want to get this on my own, so I'm just gonna keep at it. So last time it worked though. So 2/3 of the time it was 5/8. So I had 10/24, and then 1/3 of the time it was 1/4. I don't get it. 2/3. Okay, wait. 2/3 of the time, it's 3/4 plus. It's 5/16. So that's given that it's 3/8, right? Are these probabilities correct? Hold on. So if it's here, and that is the second point fixed. Yeah, probability that the third one is, or the fourth one is gonna be 1/4. Mm, 5/24. Like, the only thing I can think of is like which semicircle, but that doesn't make sense because I'm already doing like. Or is it because, okay, is my probability that 3 points lie on a quarter circle wrong? Like, that's the only thing I can think of. Um, let me hold on. Let me just ask chat real quick to see if I'm wrong on that. If I am, I'm again gonna try and figure that out. Oh wait, what chat is saying? What? Okay, so yeah, okay, never mind. So it is 3/16 apparently. Okay. So that's my problem, and let me try and actually figure that out. Okay. Okay. Uh, okay. Let me do that. Let me. Let's see. Um. Okay. So that's just not what I wanted. All right. Okay, that's better. So 3 point. Okay, so again, first point, bang. The probability that the second point is on a semicircle is, or like within the same quarter, is 1/2. Right? Anything over here like doesn't work. Here doesn't work. Here doesn't work. So it has to be like that. Um, then let's say the second point is here. Probability that the third point is like within this thing is 1/4. Um, if it's like here, like if the second point is here, it would be 1/2. If it's over here again, it's 1/4. Like let's say it's over here, then I got this, and I got this, right? Like these three work. 3/4, so that's 3/8 if it's over there. Huh, okay. 1/2 plus. Oh, I just did it wrong. Oh my god. Alright, so I did 3/4. Okay, wow. I forgot to average it. Okay, yeah, so that is. Okay, that makes sense. Alright, 1/16. I did get it eventually. But I'm gonna keep this question unmarked because I do wanna derive this thing, like, actually. Okay. Yeah, okay. That just actually took like very long, but at least it's resolved. Okay. Um, yeah. Okay. Mm, I'm pretty bad at linalg. I I don't want to click on it. Yeah, I'm pretty buns at linalg. Let's see. Ant on a simplex. This sounds horrible. Of a simplex. What's a simplex? Let me. I'm just searching this up. Simplex image. What? Okay. So is it like a tetrahedron, or it is an equal but move to any other? Okay, I'm sorry. I just don't know what it's talking about. I will do that later. Okay. Oh my god, I hate these problems. Alright, let's see. Alright, let's see this, I guess. Okay, let me just read it. I was just staring at the screen. Let me start the timer. A group of 5 people want to keep their secret document in a safe. They want to make sure that in the future only a majority of people can open the safe. To accomplish this, they want to put some locks on the safe, whereby each of the locks have to be open to access the safe. Each lock can have multiple keys, but each key only opens one lock. How many locks are required at minimum? How many keys will each member carry? Okay. In the future, only a majority of people can open these. Okay. Okay. Each of the locks have to be open. Okay. Each lock can have multiple keys. Okay. But each key only opens one lock. So, okay. So only a majority of people can open the safe. Okay, that means you need to have 3 locks. Otherwise, if it's less than 2, um, oh wait, just because, okay. It doesn't make sense to have 1 because, so, okay, okay. So if I just have 1 lock, right? But I don't know, it just feels like it should just be 3, but like, let's say there's just 1 lock, and I make it so that, I need to make it so that at least 3 people can open it. But the thing is, if someone can open it, it just takes that 1 guy to open the lock, so that just doesn't make sense. Unless I'm misunderstanding something. Yeah, they only a majority of people, so they don't want it so only 1 person can open it. And each lock can have multiple keys. Does that mean you need multiple keys to open that lock, or do you need like? Because if that's the case, then I just have 1 lock, and I'm so confused on the wording because when you say each lock can have multiple keys, that means, does it mean like either of those keys can open a lock, or do all of the keys, are all the keys needed to open that lock? Okay, but each key only opens one lock. I'm assuming it's the former. So like you, only one of them can, like, okay, let's say I have two locks, right? So 3 is the obvious answer. Can I do it 2? Let's say the locks names are like A, B, C, D, E, right? Let me just like A, B, C, D, E. Okay, and let me get rid of that. Okay. Now let's say I have like, if I allow like A and B to be able to open this lock. So let's say A and B do exist, right? A and B. So, or let's say I only need A to open this, right? The guy with A. Wait, each person can only have one lock? Each lock. How many keys will each member carry? Okay. Okay, so this is if, to keep this at a minimum, I gotta charge my thing. Okay, hold on. Let me charge this thing. Okay, so let's say like someone carries like, okay, I'm so confused. Why would this, is this not just like you just need 3 and then like, oh, but, oh, it could be like any majority of people should be able to open the safe, and that's tricky. Okay, so I don't think you can do it 2 because like, unless in the if a group of 3 people, everyone has to be contributing to some lock. All right, I guess this is the proof for like the fact that you need 3, right? In the way I understand it, you need 3 locks because let's say you only need 2. That means that like, and each lock can just open a safe on its own. I can just like have like one of these people will be useless and you just don't need them. So that would mean you only need 2 people, and that doesn't make sense. Okay, so there's 3 locks, and I need to make sure that like any 3 people can open it. So like, if I just have it as like A, B, and C, what's the problem with that? Let's say my group has D and E on it, then they can't open shit. But if I have A, D, and let's say I like group them, like just group 2 of them, let's see what happens. What could happen here? Let's say a guy holding like, and let's say each person has to hold one. I'm so confused. How many oh, wait. Okay, yeah, wait, no, that still makes, I would say, I don't know. I'm like, for each group of 2 people, there must be a lock which none of them have a key to. With the key, okay, I think I just misunderstood this. Because I have no idea what they're talking about. Okay, I guess that's, if that's a pattern, I don't know if that's my problem or if that's like a problem with the problems. But all right. Okay. I guess. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. You know what? I did like, I think about like a little more than 10 problems today, so I think that's good enough. I know I did some off camera mostly. Just want to record now because I didn't feel like doing it now. Okay. Cool. There are definitely some problems I do want to revisit because I don't know. I just feel like that I have to. I'm just curious to know how many 10 out of 10s there are. So there's not a single 10 out of 10 difficulty problem. Okay. 9 out of 10. There's two. And that's a machine learning one and a statistics. All right. 8 out of 10. I actually did an 8 out of 10 problem. I did both. Interesting. These did not feel like 8 out of 10 problems at all. A 7 out of 10 problem. This one was kind of cooked, but I am bad at random walks. Okay. So definitely random walks is something I got to look at. What is this? You know what? I guess let's do this one, because why not? You're practicing soccer by taking 100 penalty kicks. Assume that you have made the first goal, but missed the second. For each of the following kicks, the probability that you score is the fraction of the goals you made thus far. For example, if you made 17 goals out of the first 30 attempts, then the probability that you made the 31st goal is 17 out of 30. After 100 attempts, including the first two, what is the probability that you score exactly 66 penalty kicks? Okay, this sounds interesting. Okay. So, okay. Is it fraction? Okay, so the probability that you made the third goal is 1/2. Probability that you made the fourth goal is then like kind of like an average of like what happens, right? So let's do this out for the fourth one. So if the third one is 1/2, right? So there's 1/2 probability that it is 2/3, and then another one half like half possibility that it's wait is the probability that I made interesting. Hold on. So the probability, okay. So the probability that I make the third shot is 1/2. The probability that I make the fourth shot is, so in 1/2 of the cases where I do make the third shot, it would be 2/3. In the other half, it would be 1/3. So, right? Because I make, yeah, so it's just 1.5 out of 3, which is just 1/2. Am I missing something? 1/2. Okay. Let's do number 5 and let's see if that's like a, okay. So let's say I made the third shot. So let me analyze all 4 cases and add up all 4 cases, and then if that's like what happened, then whatever. So probability that I made the third shot, okay. Then my probability that I made the fourth shot would be, let's say I'm gonna refer to 3 and 4 as yes and no, or like, you know, sequentially. So let's assume a yes. That would be 1/2 times 2/3. So that's just off that one case, right? So like 1/2 and then 2/3. Then let's say a yes no. So 1/2 probability times 1/3. Plus a like no, let's say a no yes, right? 1/2 times 1/3 plus no, I'm definitely doing something wrong in that case. Okay, because I'm getting 1 as my answer, and that should not be the case. So 1, 2, let's say the third one, right? So it was like that. So 1/2 probability that I make it, and 1/2 probability that I don't, right? So let's look at number 4. What is the probability that I made the fourth shot? okay, I think it's because I have to do like a thing. Okay. So let's say, given that I made 3, I see. Okay, I see why it's kind of tricky. Okay. So in one half of the cases, I did make that shot, right? So in one half of the cases, I made the shot, and then it's either a 2/3 chance or a 1/3 chance, right? It's a 2/3 chance I made. Okay. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay. So, okay, I don't know why I'm doing the plus part then. That makes no sense. So it's that plus, then it would be the probability that, let's say I missed this, right? So that would be another 1/2. Then that would be like this, which is like 1/3 plus 1/6, which is 1/2. Now let's do number 5. Um, okay, also, I low-key feel like shit. Okay, so if I don't get anything within like 10 minutes, I will fade. But okay, let us look at number 5. So, um, let's assume like again, all 4 scenarios. So I only have to look at 2 scenarios. Here I'd have to look at 4. Okay, so assuming this like yes happened, and another yes happened, so that's 2/3. Then my probability would be times. Then I made 3 out of the 4, so that would be 3/4. Oh yeah, I didn't multiply by that. Okay. Assume that like it was a yes no, so 1/2 happened, 1/3 happened, and then I do another 1/2. Assume I did a yes no. I'll do a no yes, so 1/2, and then the probability that happened is 1/3 anyways. So that's again another 1/2 plus, and then imagine a no, right? And that would be a 1/2 times 2/3, right? Yes. Did I do the yes no part right? Yeah, I did. Yes. Okay, so 1/2 times 2/3 of that no happening times, and then you are at 1/4. All right, so that is, I'm just gonna do this on paper. 1/4 plus 1/12, or I guess 1/6 plus 4 plus 1/6 plus 1/12 again. So that would be 3 plus 2 plus 1 over 12. Okay, so it does always sum out to be 1/2. So the probability that I made the nth shot is 1/2. So I expect exactly 66. Okay. After 100 attempts, including the first 2, what is probably that you? Okay. So I expect to have scored, like, let's say out of 4, I expect to score 2, right? Like this and one of these. So hold on. So I expect to score 50. What is the probability that you score? Okay. If this is, can I just, I just want to see if this is like a statistics sort of problem. No, okay, it's not, okay. But because if I have like a distribution of some sort and I'm like, hey, this is like n standard deviations away, you know, could be something. If we do that though, if we do that, interesting. First is already determined. If I do like 98 choose 66 times 1/2 to the power of 98, would that not work? Oh wait, I guess that wouldn't work. Okay. Alright, I do want to take a break from this. I don't want to do it anymore. I might upload this, might not, but like, I don't know. I'm just tired. I will spin back on this problem though. I think I got it if I think about it. But yeah, we'll see.